Hey guys, welcome back. This is Doug Fletcher, and you're listening to What's the Hazard? It is Friday, December 17th. I'm sitting here with my buddy Lee Paulsen, the Environmental Health and Safety Manager for Pure Fishing up in Spirit Lake, Iowa. We just did a really interesting episode on extended shifts and how those particular challenges and how they're trying to address those up at Pure Fishing. We're starting a new segment here at What's the Hazard, and we're going to call it Show and Tell, man. And I'd like to bring safety professionals on and have them talk about, tools that they use that make their lives easier. So I didn't prepare you for this, man, so I probably should have mentioned that we were starting this. But talk a little bit about what you use in a day-to-day fashion as a safety professional up at Pure Fishing.
Yeah, so the biggest thing that I use is going to be, my cell phone. I mean, with the way phones have, how far they've come lately, there's so many apps out there. But in the opportunities that I get to when I'm working on the floor with the coworkers, I mean, a lot of what I'm doing is I'm being eyes, I'm listening. I don't have any tool that I have to have that I use every day. I think my greatest value to the team that I support is just being the ears to listening to the problems that they have or the opportunities that they have. So it's whether it's pulling up the camera to take a picture of a cell layout, or a condition of housekeeping, whatever it may be, just so I can go back and just make those mental notes and just see what that's going to take, because sometimes they're really easy things to fix, something to get put away, or we're running out of floor space and something got put in a place that it didn't need to. So
of course,
little things like that.
And so then are you just like texting those pictures or emailing them to your?
I can take a picture. Yeah, that's a great thing too. Is just being able to text, sending stuff through Teams like, hey, can you address this? Right. I remember this was embarrassing to me. One of our VPs was in the building last month. And through Teams, he sends me a picture of a blocked electrical panel. And I'm just like, oh, no.
But you probably should have given him the little gift card or whatever the little reward is that you get for people that provide information.
And I did give him a call out the next day on one of our ops reviews about pointing that stuff out. And like I said, it's so important because I love getting that feedback from people that,
what's critical, man.
No matter what level they are. In the company, that they know that that's a problem.
That's an incredible feature, and I kind of like to talk about that a little bit because obviously we as safety professionals, we can't be on site, we can't be out on the floor all the time. We're out there as often as we can be, but there are certain tasks that have to be accomplished either in an office or in a meeting or something like that, unfortunately. So we're not on the floor all the time. So we need, the employees to be notifying us if they see something that they're concerned about, if they see a violative condition or a hazard or something, so they can take pictures, send them to us, just like the VP. That I'm actually pretty impressed that a VP would take the time to do that and recognize that as an issue. Yeah. That's actually a win in my opinion, so that's a good deal.
Yep, and I learned so much that way, because fortunately I have a global role and I get to go all throughout the country, and when COVID gets over, I'll get to go international, but we're doing so much growth within our organization. We have new equipment being built, and that's where I get to spend a lot of time is working with teams, engineers, as they build this stuff, like making sure we're building it the right way. But you know how engineers can talk, and they're just explaining the stuff, and I'm not mechanically inclined at all. Like, that is not me.
Right.
So I was like, just send me a picture of it. Like, I got to see this, or I got to send me a video. And those are just such valuable tools. If I was just in Illinois, 7 hours away this whole entire week, as people are building new things and on deadlines, I was like, record the thing working. Let me see how you guys are going to do it. Let's see if the guarding is appropriate, whatever that may be. Just, I have to rely so much on that technology piece.
I love that. That's great.
So, and that's how I learn. And I think that's how a lot of people learn. And I have to communicate that way too, because when I'm working with engineers that have to make improvements based off of what I see, I have to take a picture of it and say, look, this is the problem. I don't know what you call this or what it does, or, but I think that's how we've been most effective. And we have to be, we can't wait on deadlines for somebody to come back a week after traveling or whatever it may be. I mean, we're very, very fast paced. So that allows us to keep up with the times. And, the other things that I was telling you, being out there and working with frontline coworkers is just lending an ear. It's so, for what I like to do is I love to build relationships with those people. We go out there and, what's working was working well for us. Where do we need to get better at? If it's, the job rotation piece, if we're not able to sustain that the way we want to, if it's housekeeping, if it's giving the time up to, be dedicated to cleaning or whatever it may be. It's just building those relationships. Or if I have to come out there and make changes for whatever reason, if it was off of an incident investigation or whatever it may be, I have to get their buy-in. So I have to get them involved with it. So asking them questions, it was hard for me when I first came into the role, was learning everybody's names.
Right.
I'd been 6 years with the co-op that I was with, and knew everybody's name. Everybody knew who I was. Then going to an organization, just at the facility that I'm at with, 400 or 500 people, and then just having to start all over. I was like, I got to remember these people's names. I'm, making notes and just.
Did you do it that way? You actually made notes and all of that?
I would. And if I was going to go out in an area, I would have to, supervisors, this person leads or these people, and I would go out and that's just what I had to do, because there was just so much going on. And now, being a few years into it, I'm pretty good about.
Quite a few of the names now.
Oh, absolutely, especially
that's
the long
impressive,
term. It's hard with the people that we're always hiring new people as well. So there's new people in the door.
Yeah,
and most of the time I get to see them in orientation for a brief stint, depending on the week. But yeah, it's a great tool to go out there and make me efficient what I do with all the projects that we have going on, the geography that we have to cover, even the team in China that I work really closely with that reports to me. They're sending me stuff all the time that's been a really unique aspect for me in my role, is getting to problem solve, troubleshoot on equipment and incidents that happen over in China, which is, the team does a really good job. We're able to be really effective. And the problem with
forgive me for not knowing this, but when you use a program like Teams or something, does that allow you to share pictures so that you can all be looking at something while you're communicating or something? Is that
absolutely. So you can be in a meeting, a conversation, and I just was doing this earlier this week, working with our EHS manager over there, where he was explaining something. He's like, I'll just send you the picture of what the job that this person does, and it's it pops right up in the conversation the meeting that we're having. Okay. So yeah, it's a fantastic tool for all that. You'll have really videos that will pop up. You can pop a link into there, and it's specific to the conversation that you're having. So Teams is a new tool to us, and we absolutely love it.
I love that. Man, you touched on a lot of things there. The tool being the phone and all of the things that your phone can do for you, but number one, building relationships, knowing people's names. Part of what we do on this podcast is leadership. We talk about safety leadership, and my friends like Jackie Polacek, Aaron Cerrone, Aaron Horvath, the people that I turn to for leadership information to a person, all emphasize how important it is to know people's names and build relationships. And that's really what we do in safety, frankly. I mean, to be quite honest, all the documentation, all that other crap that we do is just unnecessary evil, but it's the relationships that are so important to what we do. Humility, being able to ask people, how should we do this? How would we do it? I commend you for that, because I know safety people that are not humble. They think they know everything, and that is a terrible approach to safety, in my opinion. I commend, and I've known you a long time, man. I'm not just expecting you to buy me lunch or anything. I know that you do those things, and I know it's important to you.
Yeah, and I try to carry myself and everything that we do in that sense, because we do our incident review boards whenever we have incidents, bring people in and bring them outside of their work environment into an environment just like this, without the camera.
Right.
Just to go through the situation, and we ask them questions, what could we have done differently as a company? How about you as an individual? What are the shortcomings? Is it training? Is it equipment?
Right. We have a bad procedure. Does the procedure need to be modified?
Is it just tribal knowledge on how to do this job? And there's different ways of doing it. So, yeah, and because I tell people, I'm not the expert. You're the expert. I'm an office person.
Right.
I don't do your job 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You tell me how I can help you. There's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Historically, for the last few years, has really kind of changed Pure Fishing's safety performance overall, as those incident review boards. It's been a great tool. I love that.
And so who would be involved in that, the incident review board? So this is this is triggered specifically by a recordable incident or a near miss or any type of an incident?
Anything near miss, recordable, lost time, whatever it may be. We go through the incident review board process. So it'll be me, the coworker supervisor, the department manager, somebody from HR. Occasionally we'll bring in some other people like our head ops manager or site directors. We'll have them, and their director of HR can occasionally step into. And we fill in for each other as well.
But obviously, this is not like an accusatory board. No. This is let's drill down into the problem.
Yep, it's just an avenue or an environment that we can get people in and just say this is important. Like we do have an expectation, but feedback. Nobody ever gets disciplined in these scenarios. The only time we've ever disciplined anybody was failure to report something. Mm-hmm. Our angle is if there's unsafe conditions out there, we want to fix it before somebody else gets hurt worse. Like I tell everybody there, we come in different shapes and sizes. We all get hurt differently. No matter if you think it's a minor thing, there's somebody out there that could go through the same situation and be significantly hurt.
Of course, yeah. I love that. Excellent, man. Well, for a guy that wasn't even prompted that we're going to do this show and tell, you did a great job, and I think it's incredibly valuable. Now, I still carry a camera, and every now and then I whip out this camera, and people about your age will look at me and go, what the hell is that? Well, this is actually a camera, and now I take a cord and download it to my laptop. You can actually, take pictures on that, and then they float to your laptop, right, or something like that somehow?
Through
the air,
through the cloud,
through the ether. So, yes, it's interesting. I'm wearing this shirt today. It is Make You Safe. Make You Safe is a company out of Des Moines, Iowa, that is developing wearable technology to help people identify risk factors and issues out in their workplace. And they have asked me to be on their technical advisory board, which is almost like ironic because I am the least technical person that I know, and probably you know. Yeah.
Bring them to Pure Fishing if you guys need to do a case study.
We would love to, man. We'd love to. But they're working on some great stuff, and I'm just along for the ride. So, man, it's great to see you, Lee. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Yeah. Always good information, man.
I've been dodging you for a few years.
You've been dodging me for a little while. Well, I know you're busy, and you guys have had a lot going on. And it's not an insignificant drive over from Spirit Lake, so...
Yeah, I like coming here now because up there, there's 12 inches of snow on the ground.
You guys have 12 inches of snow?
I think it all melted this last week for the most part.
But it does get cold up there.
I like to bring you.
You will call me to come over in January to do an audit or
the San Diego of the Midwest in Okoboji.
Yeah, no shit, man. Well, thanks. Have a great holiday with your family. 2 kids now?
2 kids.
Good for you, buddy. It'll be a fun Christmas.
4 and 6 months.
Oh, man. Enjoy. I've got 24-year-old, 22-year-old. They stop home long enough to get their check, and then they leave, So enjoy it. Yep. Thanks again, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Have great holidays. Be safe. Focus on the mission. We have time between now and the holidays, and I think people are going to be distracted. I think people are going to lose a little bit of focus as they're thinking about these vacations and holidays upcoming. So stay focused. We don't want anybody getting hurt before the holidays. And enjoy them. We'll be back after the first of the year. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.